I say, whoa, now that's your man's in them files shot reporting on the Bamboozle Again News Network, right? Schedule a little different. Been really having this in my spirit, but not really understanding how I really can convey this message, right? I learn a lot from just, going to work, observing society spiritually, right? So I'll be having content, right? And then I'm like, nah, I don't want to talk about that. Or nah, this is more pressing. Then I'll be like, yo, what would the Most High want me to say, right? You know what I mean? And this one will be about how the fire in you has to burn hotter than the fire around you. It ain't no other way. You know how the word talks about fanning the flames rather of our faith. And don't get it twisted. This is not like I'm just saying some stuff that I don't have to personally implement in my personal life, right? Me working in the mental health substance abuse treatment field, I see it up close and personal every day. I see the loss of hope. I see the codependency. I see, which was one of my fears, and that's why a contributing factor why I got sober. I see, not addressing issues, and then you get to a certain age, especially when you're older and you're a black man, and that scared me to death. You know what I mean? Let's say I'm 45, 50, no license, no skill set, can't, just do functional stuff in this ever evolving society. I don't know how to send an email, just I don't know how to use a smartphone. You know what I mean? You have to some degree, you hold to your principles, but you have to have the ability to adapt to ever changing winds of circumstances. Um, I've seen a couple content creators come across my feed and basically allude to losing faith. One dude I seen said, he don't believe in Jesus anymore. He's more on like the self-empowerment type. There is no empowerment outside of the source. You have no power. How's it said? You have no the branch has no power that's not attached to the vine. Forgive me, right? Um, and I put myself in like I run various like contingency plans in my mind or scenarios. Okay, let's say if I lose my job, I lose my home, will I still be able to carry it the way I carry it? Will I still believe and say the stuff I say and believe not if I was in that situation? You never know what you'll do until you in it. But here's my thing, right? Like with them like super duper security people or like special forces people, right? And I've heard people say this when I, caught content about that, where they might be great as far as their training, right? But they get in a live simulation and freeze up. Like I said, you'll never know what you'll do until you in it. You know what I'm saying? But I try to train for real life, or I try to train spiritually for real life. But you never know what's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? That used to trip me up in sobriety, right? Where I'll plan for maybe this potential thing over here, and then get hit with a right hook and it knock me out, or drop me to my knees, right? So I've kind of stopped over analyzing various scenarios, and I just live life. You know what I'm saying? Easier said than done. I prepare myself for loss. I prepare myself for people to walk out. But one thing I'm prepared to not do is lose my soul and spirit no matter what happened in this world, no matter what I lose. I ain't gonna lose me, and I can guarantee that. Because at the end of the day, you is all you got. And I don't just mean you as the person. I mean you, the core of your humanity, your soul. You ever notice like with, the social impositions, the spiritual bamboozlements. It's all to kind of try to chip away and dissipate at that. You know what I'm saying? Me. That's why I move the way I move. I don't cut people off because I enjoy cutting people off. I cut people off because if I perceive it might try to chip away at what has been hard won, fought, and gained, me, if I'm wrong, I'll apologize later. You know what I'm saying? But I see it all day, every day. And again, we got financial woe. We got geopolitical crap going on. Um, let's say if I were home. That's why I used to plan, right? Or I check out content in an elementary cursory sense, right? As far as like, can I take the bare essentials and build me a livable structure? You know what I'm saying? Like, if I follow this particular animal, will it lead me to water? Like, this are all scenarios I run in my mind and do a general cursory Google search, a general understanding. I got books on all type of stuff. The Anarchist Cookbook, homesteading. Haven't been able to implement it, but I have the resource available if I need to. This is where vision and foresight come in. The words say, without vision, the people perish. Without knowledge, the people perish. And a lot of times, because of this matrix we in, and we see it, the illusion of it dissipating, all this government take care of you, all this hoping, your homeboys you got good time with, everybody gonna be trying to, as I like to call it, the say they own hind parts program. Can you save yourself? In the sense of, can I operate in a way to save myself that the Most High will deem me worthy of him intervening in any situation that he has set to order? Because I'm of this belief, right? For me, I don't know how it is for everybody else. My path is laid out. I just gotta walk it. Like when he told Abraham, go wherever he told him go at, right? He didn't tell him all the people was gonna meet. He didn't tell him how he was gonna eat. He just said, go this way. You see what I'm saying? With me, I don't know all the steps. I don't, like I said, as far as like the various skill trades I've attempted to acquire with my own vision, they haven't worked. But I keep getting funneled back into an industry that now has rampant budget cuts that is in alignment with my purging process. That made no sense. You see what I'm saying? I actually have another opportunity, and I won't get into detail, because I do think, like, people been, channels kind of growing. So I be thinking people be trying to, infuse their little witchcraft and whatever. Not that I care. And it's actually their job to do that if you want to be technical. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we playing sports, like, there is opposition to you winning the game. That's what they're there for. They're there to stop you. So you ain't even supposed to get all super upset as I've evolved now that I've gotten to this point. And I got to understand this too. Everybody ain't where I'm at with it. Actually, years ago, I wasn't at with it where I'm at with it now. So sometimes I feel like I do people a disservice because now I'm able to deal with reality. When before, I couldn't. That's why you should get high. It wasn't that I seen reality for what it was, but why I gotta deal with that? Why it's gotta be like this? Why I gotta be so hard? You know what I'm saying? Like Tupac said, the why don't matter. It made me more almost militant in my mindset. But in reference to just planning, preparing, cause I see a lot of that online, right? With your resources and whatever the case may be. Yeah, I think that is practical. However, you can't plan for what's coming, because what's coming to this physical realm is spiritual. It'll just take place and manifest in the physical realm. So you can't prepare for earthquake, or you can't prepare for a tornado where typically tornadoes don't happen. This is where I think he's been moving me within the last 6 months of this thing about being led by the Spirit. Now, in reference to what I say about this potential opportunity, that's in, a field a field of industry that I've been trying to get into for vision purposes, functionality purposes, a skill I can use to make money and for myself, others, so on and so forth, right? But I prayed this prayer, right? I said, now I want to do this, right? Which means I'll have to leave where I'm at, and which I ain't got no problem adapting. I ain't got no problem jumping out the window or taking leaps of faith. I think that's why he be having to restrict me, because I am kind of extreme. You know what I'm saying? So that's not one of my issues. Let me hear about a position in Alaska, and I want to go to Alaska, and outside of me having my child now, man, I'm gone. And don't think nothing else about it. I do a cursory search where I'm going to be at, where's the grocery store, what's around, run it. Because they say a travel man availeth much, right? And I noticed that in my small town where everyone's stuck in the same program or in the same loop. So just like in the Matrix where he told them, if we break them out this Matrix, they can't mentally handle it. I had another part who I cut off, came, trying to get some help or whatever in a particular area. So, in spite of that, we had a personal thing. But bygone be bygone, you here for help. Whatever we had going on, that's beside the point, bro. So he actually has a better opportunity, but what's holding him back is he doesn't know how he's going to get to, various appointments, so on and so forth. In my mind, you figure that out. You got a phone, don't you? That's how you plan. And that's what I'm saying, like what be seeming like these mountains of issues and problems to people, to me, are minuscule to the potential for peace, new environment, You know what I'm saying? Better accommodations. You know what I'm saying? I was, in the comment section talking to SRBG, and he was just saying how some people may have pain, but the pain is familiar to them. The pain of growth, they don't want to deal with that. And that's why I feel like sometimes I'll be doing people a disservice. Like, why you just don't do it? Or why you don't take a leap of faith? You can always go back to that. That'll always be there. But this opportunity may not. And with me, I think he be reining me in, you know what I'm saying? Um, for this very reason, so that I can yield to his will. So I prayed this prayer right back to that. Just like when I was in treatment one time, I had an opportunity in Portland. And this when I first was trying to yield to his will. But I don't know what that mean or how that look. So if you don't want me to do this, you just go ahead and block it like you seen me do everything else. And that's ultimately what ended up happening. I got an email saying the job was downsized and canceled my flight and all that good stuff. So I said, all right, cool. But then another door opened, right? So now I want to do this. Or it could potentially, financially and, resource-wise, skill-wise, whatever. But it reminded me of when, I forgot what prophet that was, but the Israelites went to this prophet and told him, we want a king. So God told the prophet to tell them, well, okay, if you want a king, he's going to, take the best of your young males and put them in his army. He's going to take the best of your daughters and put them in his harem. He's going to take the best of your crops and all this, that, and the third, right? And they say, yeah, give it to us anyway. So I might want to do this. But if this is not in your sovereign will for me, or this is going to take me off the path, a la like Jonah, don't let it happen. You know what I'm saying? Or let me know, and I won't even pursue it. But I'm a firm believer in this. If you are so say chosen, you so say called, right? You can go willingly, or you can go kicking and screaming, but you going. Just like Jonah, he told Jonah, go over here and tell him this. All right, and he go the opposite direction. Then the fish swallow him up, or whale, or whatever they say that was. Then he end up going where he's supposed to go anyway. Just like all the years I ducked treatment, or say I ain't going back in there no more. I'm tired of how they treat me, or whoop the whoop the whoop the whoop. And within 6 to 18 months, it'll dawn on me sitting in them people intake, I'm back in treatment. When the whole time I was hell bent on not stepping foot in here. You're going willingly, or you might well just go through it. And yes, I don't want to make it sound like it's easier said than done. In real time, let's say you don't have support, let's say you don't have finances, but somehow every day that's why, like, when I used to go to them old school prayers, sir, back when I was younger, where the old folk, before they start their testimony, they would give honor to God for what they say, their health and their strength and a sound mind. As long as you got that, you can do anything under the guise or the sovereign will of the Most High. You know what I'm saying? I can do some stuff now, but I don't think it's the Most High will. Just like in my mind, I would like to believe, if I had the right, let's say social media whoop de whoop, right? I could probably bring black folk together, right? But it's probably not his will to bring all black folk together. You see what I'm saying? Granted, great, noble idea, but you out of alignment. So all I want to do is to be in alignment. Now, I was in alignment the whole time I was in Baltimore. But I talk about on here how it was nothing but delays, rejection, denial, couldn't get a job, constant bamboozle. That was his will for me. He used all that to start the process of purging me out of my own ideas, wisdom, and thinking. It took all that. And it took almost a decade. Now, it didn't get any easier. I just got better at dealing with it. I got more wiser at discerning situations and people. I got better at weighing up outcomes. Or here's what happened too, right? My feelings didn't dictate my behavior. That's the first time that's ever happened. I feel discouraged, but I keep trying. I feel lonely, but I don't go just deal with any old body. I just feel it. I feel uncertainty, but I'm certain, even though I can't understand it, that the Most High hand is in this. You understand me? I even run scenarios in my mind like, oh, what if I lose, the custody? What if I don't know what's gonna happen? I ain't gonna know what I'm gonna do until I'm in it. But what I am guaranteed to know, like, I could not, like, I might say, oh, I feel like giving up, right? Take a nap, and then behave in a way that shows I'm not giving up. You see, I'm just voicing a frustration. You know what I'm saying? I truly believe, and this ain't me, this ain't no ego or macho, rah. I couldn't, I'm not as, like, I'm so far from where I started, but I'm not close enough to where I'm going or where he lead me. I couldn't give up if I wanted to. I truly believe that. Give up and do what? Go back in the world? Give up and do what? After all that I've learned now? Man, and I get it. Like what was that, last week? Yeah. I ain't really had no gusto. My spirit was just telling me rest. You know what I'm saying? I just, my car situation that happened and all that there. And I didn't initially had a finance for it. But and like I talked about in the last video to some degree, I don't know if I did it justice. Each trial has actually gotten greater to make my faith stronger. But as I've gone up the ladder of these trials or these various life circumstances, my ability to outthink it or rectify under my own hand has been lessened. You understand me? So I ain't got no choice but to have faith. Not that the situation will or the outcome will be favorable to what I think. That no matter what happens, it's the Most High will, and it is for my good. Comfortability kills. That's why I start getting nervous if I get too comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Or if I start, like, if I don't act like I ain't feel like doing it last week, because my spirit didn't feel like doing it. But if I miss a few days of my various disciplines, or let's say one day I leave out the house and I forget to read the word, like I feel off. You know what I'm saying? I got to stick to the script. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of how it look, keep banging. You either bang or you're going to get banged on in a sport. This is just the reality situation. And I'm not talking from necessarily behavior. I'm talking about from an internal place. Like, I've never been like this. But the reason I'm like this is because of hardship. The pressure actually squeezing out what was already dormant in me. I was already a smart dude, but the pressure turned intelligence into wisdom, because I was going to the spiritual place where wisdom emanates from. You understand me? So all the stuff I prayed to get out of, it didn't make no sense, or why I gotta deal with this, and why these people have to, have authority over me. Now I don't want nobody authority over me. So I'm moving away to make sure. Because there's a famous saying, if you can't manage your life, somebody had to do it for you. So now, in wisdom, I manage my life, so I don't have to put myself in a position, jail, I got to supervise my job, but I got my own power. And, I can follow leadership, and I ain't got no problem with that. I'm not that insecure. But I hold my own power. I hold my own autonomy because of the situation, the places, and the things that I aforementioned. You understand me? And I just see the soul and the spirit going out of folk. I can feel Babylon has punished us into the earth, spiritually, You know what I'm saying? Now when I get back in the corner, typically as I like to call it, I retract back in on myself and I get adversarial to the situation. Because I'm used to being by myself, so I ain't got no backup. You know what I'm saying? Now I got, the old school prayer word, stuff like that, which is, all the backup you need, really. You understand me? But this is just a little message, and I get it. Trust and believe it. If Tupac, me and Tupac care, if don't nobody else care. You understand? And I've been through a gambit of shit. I done broke my neck. I done, lost, a significant other, drugs and alcohol, habitual homelessness, impulsivity, bad decision making, reckless sexual behavior. I've done it all. But he brought me through all that. I should have been unalive on multiple occasions. And if I got through all that, sometimes it hit me though. I ain't gonna stunt. It hit me. Whatever hit me. Like I said, I talked about spiritual total recall. I start remembering failures and especially when you strive forward and maybe not getting where you want to go and all that. Like my man Iron and Soap, man, just stick to the script. Keep working. And even if you don't have an actual job, keep working on you. Keep reading your word. Keep praying. Get in a little exercise. Change your diet. Just a little. You'd be surprised how much small changes have such a great impact. You know what I'm talking about? Show you right. I wouldn't lie to you. For what? There's enough bamboozlers out here. And let's say you can get, I don't want to use the Hollywood analogy. I don't know. Let's say you get a super duper job at, supervisor, and let's say you make 80 grand a year. It still ain't going to help. It might help you financially for the time being. But then, when whatever we don't know going to happen, that's prophesied to happen, that $80,000 a year is not going to help you. I mean, do what you can do on a daily basis. Grant us our daily bread. And I try to plan and prepare, but I done stop, for the most part. Yeah, I make practical preparations. But my greatest prep is the Most High. My favorite's in Him. You know what I'm saying? It's amazing for me to even say that. Because I think I'm great, even though I ain't done nothing great. You know what I'm saying? That's just all stuff I got constructed in my mind. But I do believe I'm destined to be great. You know what I'm saying? I think by default, if you're chosen, you will be great by default. Now, we might think of great as famous in that term, or if you look at the disciples, right? They were poor, whatever. But technically, they were famous. I forgot him, who actually said this. He said, we ourselves being poor, but making many rich. Or, you know what I'm saying? What you got inside you that the world don't value will be very valuable when the illusion of this construct gets dissipated. I already know that. Some stuff I just know, not even knowing how I know. I just know that. But even at that point, I'll be led, not to my own wisdom understanding, but led by the Ruach Kadash, right? As far as how to proceed, who to help, who to stay away. Because my little heart be wanting to say the word. But then you already know when you do that, you get your heart handed back to you on a silver platter. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is at this point, man. I just be thankful for what I got, the battles I've been able to wage, uprightly. You know what I'm saying? Even if I don't get the victory, it still do something to your spirit where you still went for. Just like, let's say you coming up, right? You actually have better self-confidence fighting and losing than not fighting at all. Now when you don't fight at all, now here come, these little voices, oh, you're a sucker, oh, you're scary. And then you start shying away from other stuff. Now you got a job application, but now you lack the confidence. You know what I'm saying? Because you weren't confident in this area. You see what I'm saying? Like my whole journey in life, I was raised right, has been nothing but hardship, shadow banning, blackballing, all that. And I don't care nothing about them. My talking points, my rhetoric, are still the same. There's no deterrent at this point. And yes, again, I get tired like everybody else. Sometimes I have doubts creeps in and whatnot, and whoop. But it's just a feeling. You know what I'm saying? But then typically, how you do me, I take a nap or, however that works, go exercise, and then I get back to it. You know what I'm saying? Because here's how my situation's set up. I don't need everything to work. But the one thing do work, put me on another level. You know what I'm saying? Just like I ain't worked consistently almost a decade. Get one job and then put a campaign together that kept me running the last 2 years. And I was there, altogether, both times, 9 months. You know what I'm saying? I'm still able to facilitate certain things today that I did, almost over two years ago. You know what I'm saying? I guess, the principle of the seed and the multiplication of a harvest. I don't know when the harvest coming in. But when it do come in, it's going to be bountiful. I know that because the seed was planted in fertile soil. He had to deal with the soil first. You know what I mean? He enriched the soil. Then I got planted. I've been watered correctly, sunlight and all that good stuff. With various seeds, right? Now, certain seeds have grown. Other seeds, I'm really waiting on this one. If this crop come in, cool, woo. You know what I'm talking about? She ain't came in yet. But here it is. I can't afford for it not to come in. You see what I'm saying? But then your mind will play on, well, if it don't come in, what you going to do? I'll figure out then. But it got to come in. You see what I'm saying? The fate decided it got to happen. I just don't know when. Now, if it don't happen, just like, I use this parable analogy. It was, in the scripture where, what was that? Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, it said, we're not bound down to that idol. That's dead. And the God we serve is able to save us from this. But even if we don't, or even if he don't, we still not doing it. So it don't even make no difference. So again, I've used this to kind of tie a video together. So he may not save you from the furnace, but he does promise, if you keep your eyes to him, to be with you in the fire. And when you come out, such as with my personal situation, with not working for 10 years, can't nobody tell because of my work ethic now. Had a whole bunch of trauma, PTSD symptoms. Can't nobody tell because I practice emotional intelligence. You know what I'm saying? That when you do get out the fire, you won't be smelling like smoke. And on that note, I'm going to holler at y'all. One love. Keep your head up, baby. Cover your six. Ooh, ah.